Hello and welcome to the 2022 Specialty Crop Block Grant Program, or SCBGP Technical Review Committee meeting. Today's presentations will provide an overview of the Technical Review Committee process, a review of the required forms and training, and a walkthrough of the system we use to collect and review proposals called the Financial Assistance Application Submittal Tool, that is primarily known as FAST. In addition, we will provide more information about the Technical Review Committee resource portal in the second presentation. We would like to begin by thanking all of you for volunteering your time to our program. We would especially like to extend a warm welcome to those of you participating for the first time this year. We know we have a lot to get done in the next several months, and we want you to know how much we appreciate your contributions to making this program a success. The purpose of the Specialty Crop Block Grant Program, or SCBGP, is to award funds for projects that enhance the competitiveness of California specialty crops. To accomplish this, the California Department of Food and Agriculture, or CDFA, conducts an annual competitive solicitation. Proposals submitted to the program undergo 2 levels of review. CDFA conducts an administrative review to ensure that all proposals submitted meet certain eligibility and administrative requirements. And we rely on you, the Technical Review Committee, or TRC, to ensure that the content of each proposal pertains to issues that are relevant and timely to the specialty crop industry, and that the objectives of proposals can be met and will result in a successful project. For those of you who have participated as a technical reviewer in prior years, we would like to highlight a few changes to the program for 2022. If you are new this year, please note these are some of the ways the funding areas and categories have changed or clarified to reflect current issues. Grant amounts were changed and are now $100,000 as a minimum amount and $500,000 as a maximum for funds requested. Grant amounts for the Additional Assistance Program are now $50,000 as minimum to $100,000 maximum award amount. In Funding Area 2, Access, Education, and Training, a program priority was updated to encourage drought-resilient practices that include methods to reduce water use and improve water efficiency. In Funding Area 3, Climate Smart Agriculture was included to Category A. Minor changes were made to Priority 5 in Category A in the Research Funding category. Verbiage now includes conservation and agricultural sustainability. The Additional Assistance for Historically Underrepresented Organizations program, also referred to as the Additional Assistance Program, has been included again this year. And lastly, there have been some minor changes to the allowable and unallowable costs and activities table. New states were included to Travel Ban AB 1887. Outcome measures and the associated indicators developed by USDA were recently updated in 2022. New outcome language and indicators are expected to align more precisely with grant program goals and will make it easier to measure a project's period of performance. This slide lists the funding areas and funding categories for the 2022 SCBGP. Proposals submitted must have selected a funding category and have addressed at least one of the program priorities listed under their selected funding category. The next few slides will provide a brief overview of the funding categories. However, more detail, including a full description of your assigned funding area and category and associated program priorities, can be found in the Request for Concept Proposals RFCP. Within the Market Enhancement funding area, there is only one funding category, Category A, which is called Grown in California. Proposals submitted to this category should enhance the marketability and long-term competitiveness of specialty crops by leveraging the unique qualities of specialty crops grown in California, or in other words, they should highlight the unique qualities and characteristics of specialty crops because they are grown in California. It is important to mention that Outcome Measure 1, Indicator 1.5 must be selected for all concept proposals submitted under the Grown in California funding category. In addition, all marketing and promotion projects must also select Outcome Measure 1, Indicator 1.5, regardless of the funding category the proposal is submitted under. Only one sub-indicator must be selected. Access, Education, and Training Category A is called Healthy Specialty Crops for All Californians. Proposals submitted in this category should improve access to and consumption of specialty crops in underserved communities and/or improve the public's knowledge and understanding of specialty crop agriculture and its beneficial importance to the health and well-being of all Californians. And as mentioned, funding category B in the Access, Education, and Training funding area is now called Equity, Opportunity, and Education for All California Specialty Crop Farmers. Proposals submitted to this funding category should benefit current and future specialty crop farmers by providing education and training, including improving equity through culturally appropriate education and training for socially disadvantaged farmers in areas including business development and regulatory compliance. In the research funding category, Category A is called Environmental Stewardship and Conservation. Proposals submitted to this category should address specialty crop agriculture's potential to mitigate and/or adapt to climate change, contribute to conservation of agricultural land and water, and/or enhance soil health. A research category B is called Plant Health and Pest Management. Proposals submitted to this funding category should address pests and disease that affect the production of California specialty crops. Applicants to the Additional Assistance Program completed the same questionnaire and attachment as all other funding areas. Concept proposals selected for advancement under this program will receive assistance from CDFA to develop a full proposal for submission to USDA. Category A is called Supporting Beginning and Socially Disadvantaged Specialty Crop Farmers. Proposals submitted to this funding category should benefit beginning and/or socially disadvantaged specialty crop farmers through education and training and increase socially disadvantaged farmer engagement with the agricultural industry. These projects will be reviewed by technical review committee members in the Equity, Opportunity, and Education for All California Specialty Crop Farmers funding category. And Category B is called Improving Specialty Crop Nutrition, Education, and Access for All Californians. Proposals submitted to this category should improve the public's knowledge and understanding of specialty crop agriculture and its beneficial importance to the health and well-being of all Californians and/or improve access to and consumption of specialty crops in underserved communities. These projects will be reviewed by technical review committee members in the Healthy Specialty Crops for All Californians funding category. This slide contains an overview of the technical review committee schedule for both the concept and grant proposal phases. On November 2nd, you will receive an email with your assigned concept proposals and instructions for how to access them in FAST. All concept proposal scores and comments are due in FAST on December 1st by 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Please note that there are roughly 4 weeks to review concept proposals this year, and there are several holidays that fall within the time window. We will conduct a meeting to discuss concept proposals the second week of December. This slide contains an overview of the technical review committee schedule by category. The meeting to discuss the concept proposal will be conducted using Zoom. And as just mentioned, the meeting for the different funding categories will occur between December 8th and December 14th, with each funding category meeting one time within the date range. A calendar invitation will be sent with the meeting information and link. This year, a total of 176 concept proposals were advanced for review. Within each funding category, there are 3 teams and 31 proposals that will move forward and grown in California, 3 teams with 32 proposals in healthy specialty crops for all Californians, 2 teams with 14 proposals in equity, opportunity, and education for all specialty crop farmers, and 1 beginning and supporting socially disadvantaged specialty crop farmers will be reviewed. 4 teams with 57 proposals in the environmental stewardship, conservation, and climate-smart agriculture, and 4 teams with 41 proposals in plant health and pest management. In order to review the proposals, each funding category or subcommittee will be broken into smaller teams within the subcommittee. Given the amount of concept proposals received for each funding category this year, each subcommittee will be divided into 2 to 4 teams per subcommittee, with 4 to 5 members per team, and approximately 8 to 14 concept proposals assigned to each team for review. CDFA continues to partner with the State Water Resource Control Board to host a web-based solicitation and review process using their Financial Assistance Application Submittal tool, more commonly referred to as FAST. All applications were submitted electronically using FAST, and FAST is where your technical reviews will be conducted. The last presentation in today's webinar will provide an overview of how to access, review, and score your assigned concept proposals using this system. The SCBGP solicitation and review process occurs in two phases, the concept proposal phase and the grant proposal phase. In phase one, as mentioned earlier, submitted concept proposals will be assigned to technical reviewers to review and score, after which the TRC will meet virtually to discuss the concept proposal in greater detail with other committee members in their assigned funding category. CDFA then consolidates all scores and feedback to determine which proposal gets invited back to the grant proposal phase. In phase two, TRC members complete the same review and scoring process for their assigned grant proposals, and there will be a second virtual meeting where the TRC will have the opportunity to discuss the grant proposals. CDFA then makes recommendations to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, or USDA, to determine which project receives funding. The review process for both phases consists of each technical reviewer conducting an individual review, including scoring and providing comments for their assigned proposals within the allotted time frame. CDFA then averages the scores to determine a final team score for each proposal, after which the technical review subcommittee meet to discuss the proposals in their funding category in greater detail, decide as a team if the average score should be changed or remain the same, and finalist comments for both the applicant and CDFA. In the concept proposal phase that will begin next week, specifically, the individual reviews and scores to be completed between November 1st and December 1st will consist of 8 sections, one of which is unscored. The remaining 7 scored sections are out of a total of 50 points. CDFA will then consolidate the reviews and determine an average score for each proposal. And again, the meeting for subcommittee to review and discuss their assigned proposals to decide the final scores and comments will be a virtual meeting held between December 8th and 14th. The grant proposal phase will be conducted in the same way as the concept proposal phase, and the review process will end with a public meeting on April 15, 2022, in which one TRC member from each funding category or subcommittee will formally submit a list of grant proposals to CDFA for consideration. CDFA will then submit final recommendations to the U.S. Department of Agriculture in May for the final determination on which projects receive funding. Here are the 8 sections of the concept proposal application that TRC members will use to evaluate and score the 2022 SCBGP concept proposals. Note that Section 3 is a section that is unscored and that Section 6 and 8, Outcome Measure and Budget, require the applicant to attach a template that must be reviewed in order to score these sections. Within the reviewing score sheets in FAST, guidelines, questions, and scoring criteria have been provided for each section to assist with your evaluations. Scoring for each individual section of the proposal should use a holistic approach, taking all relevant factors into consideration, including how well the applicant answered the question. Most importantly, each proposal should be evaluated individually, and the scoring for each proposal should be based on the proposal's own merits and attributes. As mentioned, there are only 2 required attachments for the 2022 SCBGP concept proposal application: the outcome measures template and the budget template. If applicants have attached any other document to their application, you are not required to review them. Here's what the outcome measure template that must be attached for Section 6 looks like. All applicants are required to select at least one outcome measure and associated indicator and/or sub-indicator. As a reminder, all chosen outcome measures, indicators, and sub-indicators, if applicable, must be achievable within the grant duration. Please clearly state if you do not believe at least one outcome measure can be achieved within the grant duration, and provide suggestions for how the applicant can modify their project or outcome measure choice in order to meet this criteria. And this is what the budget template looks like. When reviewing the budget, please keep in mind that all budget items included should support enhancing the competitiveness of California specialty crops and correlate to the goals of the project. Lastly, we want to emphasize how critical the comments each reviewer provides and the overall review comment section at the end of each review are to the review process. They make up the feedback provided to the applicant to assist them in improving their proposal in the grant phase, or if not selected for the grant phase, assist them in developing future proposal applications. We specifically ask that comments do not include a summary of the proposal or simply state that the proposal is good or poor, as we are unable to use these comments. Feedback should be professional and constructive. It should also be specific, actionable, and support the individual score provided for the concept proposal. At a minimum, comments should address each area of the proposal where the score falls below average, provide constructive and actionable feedback to improve areas of the proposal where the score falls below average, and provide suggestions for how the overall proposal could be improved. We hope that you feel free to contact us with any questions you may have about your participation as a technical reviewer in the SCBGP. CDFA staff are available Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and we can be reached by phone or at the email address provided here. In addition, we have provided a link to our SCBGP website that has more information about the program, links to documents to assist with your reviews, including the 2022 Request for Concept Proposal, and other information. We have also provided the phone number, email, and website for the State Water Board should you need to contact them regarding FAST.
Hello. This next presentation will cover the forms and trainings required to participate as a Technical Review Committee member. To begin service as a Technical Review Committee member, there are 4 items that must be completed this year. They include the Conflict of Interest form, the Statement of Economic Interests, Form 700, which must be completed both as you begin your state service and again as you end your state service, ethics training, and the Sexual Harassment Prevention training titled the Maintaining a Respectful Work Environment EEO Compliance Training. And, although you may see different due dates in the materials you receive, CDFA requires that all forms and training be completed by Wednesday, December 1st, 2021. The Conflict of Interest form will be sent to you via email by CDFA. For returning reviewers, note that we are not requiring the Oath of Allegiance form this year. Due to the review process moving entirely online, there will be no travel reimbursements this year as opposed to prior years. Thus, that form is not necessary. Complete, sign, and return the Conflict of Interest form by email to grants@cdfa.ca.gov. By signing the Conflict of Interest form, you are committing to serve as a member on the 2022 SCBGP Technical Review Committee and agreeing to disclose any conflicts of interest. Although we do our best to identify possible conflicts of interest as we assign projects for review, ultimately, we rely on you to screen all the proposals assigned to you for any possible conflicts of interest. It is important to notify CDFA of any conflicts as soon as possible. As a reminder, a few sources of conflict include if you have helped develop a proposal or you will be involved in a project, if a proposal was submitted by your employer or another organization you are affiliated with, if you or a family member could benefit financially from the project, or if there are any other factors that could prevent you from conducting an impartial review of a proposal. We encourage you to screen all your assigned proposals within the next week so that you can let us know of any conflicts right away. In addition, by signing the Conflict of Interest form, you are also agreeing to not disclose information that you have access to because of your role as a reviewer. You should not discuss proposals or any details about the content of the proposals or reviewer scores and feedback with anyone outside of the Technical Review Committee meeting. This includes both reviewers and non-reviewers. In particular, it is especially important that you do not discuss proposals where you have a conflict of interest. Attempting to influence the scoring of proposals where you, your family, or your employer could benefit is considered a serious ethics violation. Complete the form by selecting the Specialty Crop Block Grant Program from the drop-down menu, filling in your personal information, and signing the hard copy and scanning it, or entering an official electronic or e-signature. Please note that the e-signature must be official. Forms with a name typed in the signature box will be returned. When completed, return the form via email to grants@cdfa.ca.gov. Be sure to read this form carefully to make sure you understand the requirements. If you have any questions about what constitutes a conflict of interest, please feel free to contact us. This year, the remaining 3 items each Technical Review Committee member is required to complete will be coordinated through the eDisclosure system hosted by SouthTech Hosting. These include the Statement of Economic Interests, Form 700, sometimes referred to as the Assuming Office Form, the Ethics Training, and the Sexual Harassment Prevention Training, also known as the Maintaining a Respectful Work Environment EEO Compliance Training. We will add all Technical Review Committee members to the eDisclosure system hosted by SouthTech Hosting. The website will consolidate many functions into one location. CDFA may occasionally send supplemental emails regarding trainings as needed. However, we anticipate that most or all emails regarding the Form 700 Assuming Office and Ethics and Sexual Harassment Prevention trainings will come from SouthTech Hosting. As in previous years, the Form 700 will be completed on the eDisclosure system. However, note that the Ethics and Sexual Harassment Prevention trainings will each be completed on websites other than the eDisclosure website. As was the case last year, Technical Review Committee members will be required to upload certificates of completion from these trainings into their eDisclosure account. Certificates of completion should not be submitted to CDFA via mail or email. However, if you are experiencing issues uploading documents, please feel free to contact us and we will be happy to assist. Once added to the eDisclosure system, you will receive a series of emails that explain how to access these 3 remaining requirements and include specific instructions and links for how to proceed to complete them. The first email you receive will congratulate you on your appointment as a Technical Review Committee member and include a list of the 3 requirements that will be coordinated through the eDisclosure system, which are the Form 700 and Ethics and Sexual Harassment Prevention training. In addition, it will provide instructions that include specific requirements for each and indicate where additional help can be found for each, including links to references. It will also provide information about logging into or creating a new account in the eDisclosure system. If you have used the eDisclosure system to file a Form 700 in the past, you can use your existing password to log in. However, if you are a new Form 700 filer, this email will refer you to a second email, which will provide links and instructions for setting up what the SouthTech Hosting system calls an eDisclosure account. This is what the eDisclosure homepage looks like. New filers should enter the login ID and the temporary password provided in the second email and follow the instructions to complete the new account setup. After you have logged in or created a new account, you can navigate to the Current Filings page using the menu on the left side of the screen. Note that this menu also includes helpful, easy-to-understand user guides and video tutorials should you need them. In addition, the system can be accessed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This page lists the items that need to be completed. This is also where you will access and complete the Statement of Economic Interests, Form 700. The Statement of Economic Interests, Form 700, is required by the California Fair Political Practices Commission. As a Technical Review Committee member who influences the funding decisions of the Specialty Crop Block Grant Program, or SCBGP, You are required, as mentioned before, to file the Form 700, both when assuming office and leaving office. The Form 700 must be filed within 30 days of the date you assumed your position as a Technical Review Committee member. The official start date for the 2022 SCBGP is Monday, November 1st. The date that all Technical Review Committee members will receive their assigned concept proposals to review. Therefore, the deadline to complete the Form 700 is Wednesday, December 1st, 2021. Please be aware that if you do not file by this date, you will receive a non-filer notification indicating that Government Code Section 91013 imposes a $10 fine per day, up to a maximum of $100. In an effort to help avoid these fines, South Tech Hosting will send friendly email reminders as the deadline approaches. To complete the Form 700 in the eDisclosure system, check the box on the Form 700 line and click the Start Filing Now button. If you have questions as you are filing the Form 700, we encourage you to view the Filer video tutorial located under Video Tutorials in the menu on the left side of the screen, or feel free to call or email the Office of Grants Administration directly. The ethics training is required by the Department of Justice's Attorney General's Office and is provided on the Department of Justice's website. You will receive an email with links and instructions specifically for this training. You may access the Department of Justice website via the link in the email or through the eDisclosure system by clicking on the Ethics Orientation for State Officials link in the menu on the left side of the screen. Reviewers should anticipate spending between 1.5 and 2.5 hours to complete the program. The training must be completed once every 2 years and must not expire before May 2022. And remember that the deadline to complete the training is Friday, December 1st. This is the entry page for the California State's Ethics Training. If you have taken the training before, you can log into the account with your email address and password. If this is your first time completing the ethics training, you will need to create a new account. For returning reviewers from last year who have already completed the ethics course, you will not need to retake this training. The eDisclosure system will already have your ethics training certificate stored. If you did complete the ethics training last year for the SCBGP and believe you were mistakenly sent an email requesting you to complete the training again, please contact us and we will assist in rectifying the issue. Please note that there are a number of sections within the ethics training that must be completed. Even if you are not prompted to complete these sections, you are responsible for locating them and completing each one in order to successfully complete the program. These sections will also be listed in the ethics training email that you received from South Tech Hosting. We recommend having that email handy as you go through the training. If a filer submits an incomplete ethics certificate, it will be forwarded to the Department of Justice's Attorney General's Office with a request to audit the filer's training. If found to be incomplete, the entire training will need to be repeated. If you have completed the ethics training already through another employer and it is valid through May 2022, it must show all of the required sections in order to be accepted. When completed, print your certificate of completion, sign it, and upload it into the eDisclosure system. I will review how to do that in just a moment. The final training requirement is the Sexual Harassment Prevention Training. Effective January 1st, 2019, California requires harassment prevention training for individuals who make decisions on behalf of and recommendations that impact both the department and various other entities. As such, you are required to take a harassment prevention training class that meets the California state requirements. You will receive an email with links and instructions specifically for this training. The training is offered through the CDFA online university, which cannot be accessed through the eDisclosure system. Reviewers should anticipate spending about 1 hour to complete the program. The training must be completed once every 2 years and must not expire before May 2022. As a reminder, the deadline to complete this training is December 1st, 2021. An exemption from this training may be made for Technical Review Committee members that have attended trainings from one of the listed entities and have a certificate of completion that does not expire before May 2022. Approval will be made on a case-by-case basis by filing officials from CDFA. If you have completed training from one of these entities, please upload your certificate of completion into the eDisclosure system for review. The filing official will notify you whether or not the certificate or the training has been accepted. Please note that the time spent on the training should be listed on the certificate being uploaded. This is the entry page for the CDFA Online University, where you will find the Sexual Harassment Prevention Training, also titled the Maintaining a Respectful Work Environment EEO Compliance Training. If you have used this system before, you can log in with your existing username and password. If you are new to the system, click the Sign Up button to create a new account. When creating a new account, after clicking the Sign Up button, you will be taken to the Sign Up page. You will need to enter Board Committee members for the enrollment key name, then click Sign Up. When you get to the Sign Up page, simply enter your first and last name, email address, and create a password. Select Administrative Services for the division from the drop-down menu, and then click Sign Up to create an account. Once you have completed either the ethics training and/or the sexual harassment prevention training, you will need to upload your certificates into the eDisclosure system. In order to do this, click on the Current Filings button in the menu on the left side of the screen. Then, click which certificate you want to upload. For this example, I will walk you through the steps of uploading the ethics training certificate. Check the box on the ethics certificate line and then click Start Filing Now. In order to upload your training certificate, on this page you will enter the date of completion, the training agency, which for the ethics training is the Department of Justice, the length of the training, and then browse your computer to upload your certificate and then hit Finalize. Finally, CDFA maintains a Technical Review Committee resource portal website with helpful information. The web address is noted at the bottom of this slide. We encourage you to add it to your favorites or your bookmarks in your web browser so that you can get to it easily. Most importantly, at the top of the website, you will find our email address and phone number. If you ever have any questions, we are available Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. You will also find links to a recording of this webinar should you want to review it again, the 2022 RFCP and other SCBGP materials you will need to reference in order to review your assigned concept proposals, and there will also be a link to the Financial Assistance Application Submittal Tool, or FAST, the system you will use to access and submit your reviews. The next presentation will cover the FAST system. Last but not least, you will find the TRC schedule, which highlights the review timeline and important dates you will want to add to your calendar. Thank you.
This presentation will go over the FAST system, including how to log in, review projects, and fill out the review form. FAST is hosted on the State Water Board's website. We will provide the web address to access FAST in emails we will send to you. All concept proposals were submitted electronically using FAST, and you will be able to access FAST 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. A few notes about the technical requirements of FAST. FAST was designed and tested for use on PCs using Internet Explorer. The use of a Mac or browsers other than Internet Explorer may impact your ability to successfully save information, navigate FAST, or submit your review. Please note, our ability to troubleshoot issues for users of Macs will be limited. Additionally, you should disable any pop-up blocking software while using FAST. Also, be sure to save your work often. The system will time out after 90 minutes and any unsaved work will be lost. This is what the FAST homepage looks like. On the left-hand side of the homepage, there are a variety of resources to help you navigate the system, including frequently asked questions, how-to videos, and the FAST user manual. If you have questions or need further assistance, you can contact the FAST Help Desk. The contact information is listed on the bottom of the homepage, and staff is available Monday through Friday between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. At the top of the page, enter your password and username. If you are a returning FAST user, the username will be provided to you by SCBGP staff via email. However, should you no longer have or remember your password, you will need to contact the FAST Help Desk to receive that information. If you're new to FAST, we will provide you with a temporary password. Again, please note that the Help Desk is only available Monday through Friday between 8 and 5 for assistance, but the FAST website is available to access 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. After logging in, you'll be taken to the main menu. You will need to select View Review Assignments in order to look up the concept proposals you have been assigned. Next, you will need to search for your assignments, as different reviewers will have been assigned different proposals based on whichever technical committee you are on. In the Request for Proposal drop-down menu, select 2022 Specialty Crop Block Grant Program. As this is the concept proposal phase, you will select Phase 1 in the Proposal Phase drop-down menu. You can also sort by proposal number and organization. After searching the assignments, you will see a list below of all your assigned concept proposals. Select the project you want to open up and work on by clicking the review title. This will open up the selected project. At the top of the screen, you'll see a number of tabs. FAST will start on the Application tab. Each application is made up of 3 sections. The first section is the application overview. This section contains information about the submitter and applicant, the project title, project description, project manager, and director. The next section is the questionnaire. This is the bulk of the application, where most of the information you will review is located, such as the funding category, project goals, project beneficiaries, project duration, etc. Be sure to read these carefully and critically. Remember, you're reading to determine 2 things. Is this proposed project a priority for the specialty crop industry? And what is this project's likelihood for success? A note about reading the replies. If applicants have included any links, please do not open them. Applicants were instructed to not include them as a means of circumventing the character limits. The third section is the Attachments tab. This is where you can download and review the outcome measures and the budget. These should be the only attachments and should be labeled as outcome measures and concept proposal budget. If there are any other attachments, such as resumes, letters of recommendation, or other information, please do not open them or consider these extraneous documents in your reviews. Applicants were instructed to not provide any other attachments in order to sustain the competitiveness of the grant and ensure no applicant has an advantage over any other applicant. Any attachments other than the concept proposal budget or outcome measures should be disregarded. This is what the outcome measures template looks like. Outcome measures describe the data applicants collect to help them assess the success of their project. Applicants must have chosen at least one outcome measure and a related indicator, as well as one sub-indicator if needed. Applicants must provide values that are whole numbers for the indicators and sub-indicators they select, and not percentages, decimals, or fractions. It is important to keep in mind that all selected outcome measures must be achievable during the grant duration. In the data collection methods, applicants should describe how the project will collect the data that will be used to measure and track the progress of the indicator and sub-indicators. Please keep in mind the data collection referred here is to track progress towards achieving the indicators and sub-indicators, not how data will be collected for the project. Each outcome measure must have unique responses to the values and descriptions. Entries such as same as above are not complete answers. Also, all marketing and promotion projects, as well as all proposals submitted to the Grown in California funding category, must select Outcome 1. This is what the budget template looks like. We are not asking you to analyze the budget line by line, but rather use your experience and knowledge to decide if the applicant gave enough information to make a determination as to the reasonableness and measurable benefits in relation to each dollar spent. The amount of funds requested column is where applicants enter the total amount of funds requested for each budget category, rounded to the nearest whole dollar. The description of costs or activities column is where applicants list the costs or activities covered. A description is required for each budget category in which funds are requested, except for category H, the indirect costs, and category I, the total SCBGP funds requested. And lastly, you will be able to see if the project will generate any income as a result of the project award, which will have to be reinvested into the project. The Review Sheet tab features the scoring criteria for the 2022 Specialty Crop Block Grant Program. In other words, this is probably where you will spend most of your time while reviewing projects. It's important to note, for security purposes, the FAST system times out after 90 minutes. The Review Sheet tab has a session timer that is located above the tabs, which counts down from 90 minutes. To ensure that your work is saved, please click the Save as Review in Progress button before the session timer runs out, which will reset the timer. If the timer does expire, unfortunately, you will lose all the information you have entered and there will be no way to recover it. Also, please note the Application QA button. This will bring up the information in the Application tab in a new window, so you can easily refer back and forth between the application and the review questions. And now I will take you through a couple of questions that comprise the questionnaire. Please note that on the review sheet you will find 3 different question types: drop-down menus, numerical answer fields, and text boxes. The sole non-numerical question, question 3, regarding prior year SCBGP projects, is an unscored question. All other questions are numerical questions where you will rate a project on a scale of 1 to 5 or 1 to 10, with the lowest number classifying a response as poor and the highest number as excellent. The scores you give for the responses will be tabulated into the overall score for the project. The highest score possible is 50 out of 50. Each scored question has guidance provided for you so that you can critically analyze the response given. However, all responses should be analyzed based on the following: is the proposed project a priority for the specialty crop industry, and what is the concept proposal's likelihood for success? All questions must have responses to them, otherwise your feedback will not be accepted and will be returned to you for completion before the deadline. At the end, there's a text box where you can give any final feedback to the applicant. Feedback should be complete sentences and specific, actionable, and support your numerical score. Your comments will be used by applicants who are invited back to the grant proposal phase to refine and build on their answers, and helps those who are not invited back to improve the quality of their proposals for the next funding cycle. Please note that you must provide comments to each proposal. Proposals submitted without feedback may be returned to the reviewer. And lastly, be sure that you enter your comments in the text box provided on the Review Sheet tab and not the Notes tab. The Reviewer Notes tab is a separate tab used by CDFA staff. Below the text box, you will find the total numeric score, which is the sum of the scores given in your responses to the above questions. And below the feedback and overall comments text box, you will also find 2 buttons: the Save as Work in Progress button, which will reset the session timer and save your progress, as well as the Review Complete button that will let you submit your review.